Kia ora koutou. Day 12. I'm not quite sure what this practice will look like today. It's going to run straight from what my body says. So a little bit of housekeeping, knowing that you don't have to do what I say, and at any time you can move into any other form. You can move to resting at any time. And this is an opportunity to maybe connect with yourself, possibly feeling sensations, but always knowing that it's quite normal. We don't go around feeling sensations all the time. So I notice I feel a little bit slow today. So we will see what emerges from the practice. So finding a way to be on your mat or on your chair that's useful for you. Checking out the space you're in, maybe looking around. Checking out where you are in this space, in your space. Maybe looking behind, perhaps in front. If you like, taking a breath, perhaps noticing that you're breathing. If you're interested, you could bring your hand to a part of your body where you feel your breath. It could be your legs, your arms, maybe your torso. Perhaps bringing your awareness to notice that you're breathing. And then in your own time, maybe bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground. So one option could be moving your torso. Another option could be bringing your hands to notice where you begin and end. And maybe bringing your hands to notice where you begin and end. And then if you're interested, maybe sitting up tall. Maybe bringing your torso over your seat. Perhaps noticing what it's like for you to sit up tall and breathing. If you like, bringing your awareness to your shoulders, maybe moving your shoulders. So you might like to move your shoulders forward and back. Another option could be raising and lowering. Maybe moving your shoulders. Then if you like, bringing your awareness to explore moving your head and neck. So one option could be to bring your ear to rest on your shoulder. You might feel sensation through your neck. You might feel nothing at all. Then in your own time, maybe lifting through midline and perhaps bringing your ear to rest on your other shoulder and breathing. So you get to choose how fast you want to move. Maybe moving your head through midline and perhaps bringing your ear to rest on your shoulder. Another option could be lifting and lowering your chin. You get to choose how you want to move. So maybe moving your ear towards your shoulder. Perhaps lifting your head through midline and bringing your ear to rest on your shoulder. Finding your way back to neutral. And if you like, moving to explore cats and cows. So if you're on all fours, maybe bring your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground. So if you're seated, perhaps bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground. If you like, lifting through your front torso, maybe lifting your chin and looking up. And another movement could be tucking your chin, curling your spine and looking down. So you're welcome to put those two movements together in your own rhythm. So if you're on your mat, maybe dipping your spine, lifting your chin and looking up. And then in your own time, perhaps curling your spine, tucking your chin and looking down. So those two movements you can put together in your own rhythm. Maybe looking down, maybe looking up. If you're moving your spine, you might feel sensation in your spine, knowing it's only a possibility. At any time, you're welcome to move into a resting form, maybe sitting back on your ankles, perhaps resting your forehead on your hands, or if you like, extending your arms. If you're seated, maybe bringing your elbows to your knees and perhaps resting your forehead in your hands. And breathing. Knowing you're always welcome to move, there is no requirement to be still. Then in your own time, maybe moving back to all fours. And if you like, moving your torso, maybe moving your torso in circles in either direction. Another option could be moving your torso forward and back. If you're in a chair, maybe moving your torso, so perhaps sitting forward on your chair, maybe moving your torso and breathing. Finding your way to resting in your own time, maybe extending your arms, or perhaps resting your forehead on your hands, maybe with your elbows on your knees, possibly forehead in your hands. Then if you like, finding your way back to all fours or seated. And if you like, exploring this form is sometimes called a half dragon. So perhaps stepping your hands forward. If you like, bring your weight to your hands and looking up. If you like, moving your torso back to your ankles. Possibly bringing weight to your hands and looking up. So you get to move in whatever way you like. If you're on a chair, maybe moving your hands towards your ankles and lifting your arms towards the roof. Perhaps moving your hands to your ankles and lifting your arms, maybe feeling sensation through your torso, and breathing. Finding your way to resting in your own time. Perhaps sitting back on your ankles, maybe resting your forehead on your hands and breathing. From here, if you would like to move into what we sometimes call downward dog, maybe extending your hands in front, maybe tucking your toes, if you like, lifting and lowering your knee. It could be one variation, maybe lifting and lowering both knees. If it's available, maybe lifting your torso, perhaps lifting and lowering your heels and breathing. At any time, moving in and out of your form. If you're seated, what you may like to do is bring your hands to your knees, perhaps leaning forward and raising your arms, perhaps holding with interest, maybe extending your legs, maybe bringing hands to your knees, like raising your arms and holding. Exploring your variation of downward dog and breathing. Finding your way to resting in your own time. If you like, bringing your awareness to notice your breath is with you. Perhaps noticing the sensation of your breath. Is it fast or slow, bumpy or smooth? Then in your own way, maybe moving to upright. Another option could be to maybe come to all fours, perhaps tucking your toes, moving to downward dog and walking your feet towards your hands. So that's another option. So perhaps finding your expression of standing mountain, standing moanga. Perhaps bring your awareness to notice where you place your feet. So maybe seated, perhaps standing moanga. If you like, lengthening your torso. Maybe bringing your shoulders over your seat, maybe over your ankles. And if you like, moving your head, maybe bringing your head to balance on your shoulders and breathing. In your own time, maybe lifting and lowering your arms. You might feel sensation in your arms. Knowing how much you lift and lower is up to you. Maybe moving your arms. Then in your own time, Maybe moving to fold forward, perhaps bringing your hands to your knees, maybe leaning forward, or possibly softening your knees, maybe bringing your elbows to your knees, and breathing. It's available, perhaps letting your hands hang, knowing at any time you can move in and out of your form. If you're seated, maybe bring your hands to your knees, perhaps tucking your chin, maybe leaning forward. It's available, maybe bringing your hands closer to your ankles. Or at any time you can move in and out of your form. Maybe moving in and out of your form. And breathing. Maybe leaning forward and breathing. Finding your way to upright in your own time. Finding your standing moana. Maybe bring your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, or perhaps seated. Another way of folding forward could be to bring your hands behind your back and maybe leaning forward. So if you're seated, perhaps moving to the side of your chair and maybe bringing your hands to your back, maybe leaning forward and breathing. Moving in and out of the form, possibly feeling sensation in your shoulders and knowing it's quite normal to feel nothing at all. You might notice your breath is with you. Finding your way to upright in your own time. Then if you like, experimenting with leaning to your side. So you may like to drop your arm to your side or possibly raising your arm. You're welcome to switch. Perhaps leaning to your side. And you might feel some sensation down the side of your torso. Maybe bring your awareness to notice that you're breathing. Guiding yourself back to upright in your own time. If you like, moving to explore goddess, so maybe bringing your feet together, maybe standing tall or seated, and if you like, stepping your feet apart. In your own time, maybe turning your feet out, possibly bending your knees, and if you like, raising your arms and breathing. Maybe raising your arms, perhaps moving in and out of the form in your own time. Maybe exploring your version of goddess and breathing. Finding your way to upright. Perhaps taking a breath. Finding your expression of standing moana. Then if you like, perhaps folding forward with your feet apart. A different kind of folding forward, maybe stepping feet apart, perhaps bringing your hands to your knees. And if you like, bringing your spine forward like a tabletop. So maybe folding forward. If it's available, perhaps bringing your hands further down your legs. If you're seated, maybe stepping your feet apart, perhaps bringing your hands to your knees, maybe leaning forward and breathing. Maybe bringing your hands to your feet. At any time, you can move in and out of your form. You might feel some sensation in your lower back. You might feel nothing at all. Finding your weight upright in your own time. Perhaps finding your expression of seated or standing moanga. Maybe bringing your shoulders over your seat and breathing. Then if you like, exploring chair form. So chair form, if you're seated, could be raising your arms, maybe lifting one foot off the ground, or perhaps lifting both feet. If you're standing, maybe bending your knees, maybe moving towards seated, and raising your arms. So knowing how much you raise your arms, how much you bend your knees, is up to you. And breathing. Maybe raising your arms. Maybe moving in and out of the form. And finding your way back to your neutral. If you like, moving to explore a squatting form, or if you're seated, maybe lifting your knee, perhaps bring your hand around your knee, or perhaps maybe lifting both knees, possibly feeling sensation in your abdomen. If you're standing, maybe experimenting with bending your knees. You get to choose how much you want to bend. And if you're exploring a squat, maybe bending your knees, perhaps holding the side of your mat or your towel with your hands and breathing. So you're welcome to stay in this form. You're welcome to move in and out of it. At any time, perhaps moving into a seated form on your mat. So today I'm going to offer the squatting form for about a minute. I'm almost halfway there. Do know you can move in and out of the form. So maybe squatting, perhaps experimenting with bending your knees and breathing. And when you're ready, perhaps moving to seated, so that's a minute. So if you are crossing your legs, perhaps noticing which way you cross, and halfway through maybe switching. So if you like, exploring a twist. So one way could be to bring your chin to your left shoulder and your right hand to your left knee, And maybe one hand behind you and sitting up tall. If it's available, maybe rotating your spine and breathing. You might feel sensation in your abdomen. You might feel nothing at all. At any time, you're welcome to move back to your neutral, to center, perhaps sitting up tall. If you like, bringing your chin to your shoulder, maybe one hand to your opposite knee, or maybe your left hand to your right knee, maybe one hand behind you and sitting up tall. If it's available, perhaps twisting, maybe rotating your spine and breathing. At any time switching, maybe rotating your spine, maybe twisting. So perhaps switching and breathing. Finding your way back to neutral. And I forget to switch my legs around, so I'm going to leave them crossed. You're welcome to have your legs whatever way you like, maybe switching how they're crossed. And if you're interested, perhaps leaning forward, maybe tucking your chin, perhaps bringing your hands to your knees, or possibly your hands to your mat. So if you like, leaning forward. And breathing. Anytime you can move in and out of your forward fold. And then in your own time, maybe moving to explore leaning back. So possibly bringing your hands behind you, maybe bringing your weight to your hands, possibly leaning back and breathing. And in your own time, guiding yourself back to your upright, back to your neutral. And today I'm going to offer a form on your side. So if you like, maybe lying on your side. And you could do this from seated, moving your leg. So maybe moving your leg to your side, maybe lifting your leg to your side if you're seated. But I'll offer that from the seat in a moment. That's a bit gobbledygook. So if you're on your side, maybe lifting and lowering. So you're welcome to have your head on your side, maybe lifting and lowering, or maybe on your elbow, possibly lifting and lowering. So maybe on your side, lifting and lowering. And if you're seated, maybe lifting your leg, perhaps moving your leg to your side, or maybe moving your leg to your side. How much you lift is up to you. So if you're on your side at any time, you're welcome to switch. So maybe on your elbow, maybe lying flat, and if you like, lifting and lowering your leg. So how much you lift and lower is up to you. The speed at which you lift and lower is up to you. And in your own time, maybe rolling onto your abdomen, perhaps bringing your elbows under your shoulders and looking forward. If it's of interest to you, maybe pressing with your hands, perhaps lifting your torso. And breathing. If you're seated, maybe raising your arms, perhaps bending your elbows. If you like, extending your legs. And at any time, you're welcome to bring your forehead to rest on your hands. Perhaps noticing that you're breathing. You might feel the sensation of your breath against the surface beneath you. It's a possibility. Then if you're interested, maybe experimenting with lifting and lowering your legs. So maybe lifting and lowering one leg, perhaps your other, or maybe lifting both legs together. So if you like, lifting and lowering one leg, or maybe both legs together. And when you're ready, maybe moving into child form, perhaps sitting back on your ankles, maybe resting your forehead on your hands, or possibly extending your arms and breathing. If you're seated, maybe bringing your elbows to your knees, perhaps resting your forehead in your hands. If you like, bringing your awareness to notice where you make contact with the ground, possibly moving, maybe looking. Then in your own time, perhaps moving to your back, or if you're seated, you may like to experiment with moving your knees. You're welcome to move your knees from one side to your other side, or individually. Maybe bring knees to one side, perhaps moving knees to your other side, maybe feeling sensation through the side. If you're on your mat, what you may like to do is to extend your arms, perhaps lift your knees. If you like, bringing your knees to rest on one side, maybe with a cushion, and breathing. And then if you like, being guided by your body in your own time, maybe moving your knees through midline. And perhaps bringing your knees to rest on a cushion on your other side and breathing. So being guided by your body, maybe moving your knees to rest on your side, like looking in the opposite direction. Another option could be to bring your feet off the ground, maybe lifting your knees towards your torso and moving your knees from one side of your mat to the other side of your mat. Maybe moving your knees from one side to your other side. And you might notice a change in sensation, maybe a change in pressure where you make contact with the ground. If you like, noticing that your breath is with you. In your own time, maybe bringing your legs to rest on your mat. And if you like, the last form, maybe lifting your leg. Maybe lifting and lowering. Another option could be to lift your legs onto a chair, or maybe against the wall. So if you like, finding a way to lift your legs, maybe lifting and lowering. Then when you're ready, finding your way to a resting form that works for you. So resting forms can be on your abdomen, your side, seated. Sometimes you may like a cushion. I'm using a bolster, but the cushion works just as well. And perhaps cushion under your legs. If you're seated, sometimes a cushion under your feet. So finding a way to be in a resting form that works for you. Another option could be to roll up a hand towel and maybe bring it to sit under your spine. If you like, bringing your hands to face towards the sky. So they're all choices. So finding a resting form that's useful for you. And this part of the practice is often seen as beneficial, and that it's sometimes seen as when our body integrates what we've learned at a cellular or muscular level. So finding a resting form that works for you. I'm going to offer a brief body scan exercise, and then some quiet, and then an opportunity for you to close your practice. So if you like, taking a breath, and as you breathe out, maybe allowing yourself to feel the support of the surface beneath you. Your breath will come again as you breathe out, maybe bringing your awareness to notice the sensation of where you make contact with the ground. And you're welcome to move at any time. If you want to follow the body scan exercise, you're welcome to take your mind there, or your hand, or maybe move that part. They're all choices for you. So if you like, bringing your awareness to notice sensation at your eyebrow center. Sensation at the tip of your nose. Sensation in your jaw, maybe moving your jaw. Sensation in your neck. Sensation in the whole of your right arm and hand. Sensation in your neck. Sensation in the whole of your left arm and hand. Sensation in your neck. Sensation in your heart center, Aroha. sensation in your upper abdomen, sensation in your lower abdomen, sensation in the whole of your right leg and right foot, sensation in your lower abdomen, sensation in the whole of your left leg and foot, sensation in your abdomen, sensation in your upper abdomen, sensation in your heart center, Aroha, sensation in your neck, sensation in your jaw, sensation at your eyebrow center, sensation in the whole of your body, your entire body, sensation in all of your body, the whole of your body, all together. I'll offer some silence, and then I'll ring one chime and an opportunity for you to close your practice. So do know there's no hurry to move. And when you do want to move, maybe wriggling your fingers and toes, possibly moving to rest on your side. If you like, taking a moment to acknowledge your practice. That might be to nurture yourself, maybe connect with yourself. So maybe acknowledging your practice in your own way. So thank you for practicing with me. I hope your day is pleasant and cheerful. Appreciate being able to practice with you, and particularly today when I felt like I wanted to kind of go and have a nana nap, I now feel I'm ready for the day. So take care, travel safe, and I will see you again tomorrow at 12 midday. Ka kite ana.